and welcome to Chant Psalm a Day. Today's psalm is 47. 47. Get your psalms out. You should have a psalm book when you're tuning in. It's Psalm 47, and this is to the choir master. It's a psalm of the sons of Korah, and it is 9 verses. So we're gonna get right into it, right into Chant the Psalm a Day. Thanks for tuning in on this beautiful day that the Most High has made. Let us rejoice in this day by chanting, okay, chanting to the Most High in song, in psalms, in words, in uplifting feelings, so that we can feel that in ourselves as we go through our day. As we go through our day, things may not be as joyful, and people may not be as joyful. So you have to know how to be that example and not be condescending about it, or boastful or uppity, or think you're above anyone, but humble, being humble. And that's what I try to do in this psalm. We're going to look at a joyful, it's clapping hands, it's shouting, it's all of this that you see in certain gatherings in the US, especially within the Black community. It's a lot of shouting and clapping, and and this joyful sound, and giving your entire body to that you know adoration of the Most High, and what some folks call praises. So in that moment, that musical, and someone mentioned this, a pastor said that the music is your praying twice. You're praying twice. So when you chant a song to the Most High, according to this pastor, you are speaking to God two times. So in that speaking to God, in that communication to the Most High, you are empowering everyone around you and yourself in this humble way. And you're not casting judgment on anyone. You are speaking of the words of the scripture. And that's what this is about. It's about liberating the word, freeing the word, unshackling the word, so that it can empower the reader to form a better relationship with the Most High. And the Most High is love, kindness, mercy, compassion. I repeat this over and over all the time. This is what that is defined as. So that is the actions and behaviors that we need to have. So this Psalm 47 is really quick today. I'm going to let you all go have a beautiful Saturday. Verse 1 is talking a physical action of clapping. Clap your hands, all peoples. Shout to the Most High with loud songs of joy! Exclamation mark. Verse 2. For the Most High, the Lord, the Most High, is to be feared, a great king over all the earth. Period. Now, in translation, as I always speak, this is your personal relationship with the Most High. That is the name you're going to call. I'm not going to judge you because you call, Wanka Aka Waka, and that's the name that of the Most High for you. I am not going to judge, because that is not my place. Who am I? I'm just a drop in the bucket of the servants of the Most High to do good and to chant Isis. And in that chanting of Isis, and people might say, oh, Isis, oh my goodness, they just acknowledge that they did something, bombing and this and that. And that's the name that, America has given to these folks. And when I look at the word Isis, I'm looking at praises and adulation and chanting a song, not going and destroying people's lives or hurting folks. Isis I gonna, give that adulation to the Most High, and I'm gonna purify my words 7 times in the fire. So I'm taking off that prey off of it, and I am going with what just the natural, untouched word that hasn't been, uh, f- uh, fluffed up into down words. Okay. So clapping hands, shouting, this is physical act. And who is this for? This is for the Lord. And it says, for the Lord, comma, the most high, comma, is to be feared. So not the most low, not no hello, not low, is it we gonna, you better stay low. uh this is for those who are in that low energy. They need to stay there. If you're gonna be there, stay there. So the Most High is to be feared, and in that fearing the Most High, we are humble. Okay, it's like you're attacked by someone, and in fearing the Most High watching how you're gonna respond now and what your behavior is. Okay, and are you going to attack with the same hatred, jealousy, envy, strife as what was given to you? No, you're going to respond with love, kindness, humbleness, and non judgmental, right? And you're not going to have speak words of judgment on a person, right? Um, so when we look at the actions and behaviors that we do, we have to really dig deep to find out where this action and behavior is coming from. Is it coming from a place of love and kindness, or is it coming from a place of jealousy and envy and strife and anger and hurt? Okay. I mentioned in a video before that when children are molested or abused or go through adversity in their lives, they're going to grow up as adults. If they haven't dealt with those adversities, they're going to partner with someone, or even within families, they're going to have, adversities. They're going to have pent up anger. And this pent up anger can come out in a lot of different triggering ways. Okay. So, this verse 2 is talking of, is looking at the Most High is to be feared. So, what I was speaking about is in terms of to be feared, in that you're not going to respond or reciprocate the same attack as you were given. It's like, two wrongs does not make a situation right. Two wrongs just creates a more wrong, and it becomes a cycle of wrong, and people end up never talking about it, never having communication about their feelings towards someone, or this is how this person make me feel. And if a person makes you feel a certain way, you have to really look at yourself, because a person does not have that control unless you give that person that control over you to make that happen. But you always err on the side of kindness. Kindness is always where you should err on the side of, because it's a mature side, and it's a neutral side. So you're not taking sides. You are being neutral and responding in kindness. That whatever the conflict was that person kind? No, they weren't. Was this person's response kind? No, it wasn't. So both was unkind actions and responses, and it just builds into conflict. And this can be where people can get physically hurt. That's why you see there's domestic violence in within homes, because one person is not erring on the side of kindness, and their approach is unkind because they're responding to something that was unkind. So you always have to try to be the one that's going to, as Michelle Obama says, take the high road, right? Seek for what's above, that high, most high. And in Psalm 47, verse 2, it's talking about for the most high is to be feared. So you're going to take that road. You're going to take that, you're going to look above and not below. Below is strife, jealousy, envy. That's why, you better stay low if that's what you're going to be about. You can't rise up to the heights of creation, looking at the beauty of creation, if you're in this low state. And that's why people visit the Virgin Islands. They want to be next to God. They want to be next to what they call paradise, and the beauty of the water meeting with the sand, and that balance and divine order of this ecosystem that's given to mankind, to human beings, to take care of and to nourish for generations to come. So we look at the psalm today, and earth this earth, the rightful ruler is this negus. As in Amharic, the translated word for king is negus, and that negus is over all the earth, is king and ruler, is earth's rightful ruler, in other words. And because of that, when I see trash, I want to go and get a big garbage bag and some gloves and start picking up this trash I see all lining on the side of the road, because that is who I am as a servant of the Most High. I serve the Most High, and in that service, that earth is part of it. I am part and parcel of that, because the earth was made for human life to flourish and to have an abundance. And because of that, we have gone astray into this white, supremacy, and everything white is supposed to be good and sacred, when the earth that produces the green herbs and the green flourishing food for the human being to survive, to thrive, is being replaced with a white pill. It's being replaced by a white pill. And this white pill is becoming a crutch for folks, in that they need it to have their heart functioning, have their heart doing the right thing, because they've gone astray and not eat, don't eat the green of the earth. Their heart, their kidneys. Okay, I really uplift people's hearts and their kidneys, that it will heal, that it will return to its natural state of functioning in the miracles that are granted by the Most High. I'm asking this for family members, for people who are suffering out there with different heart, kidney, lungs, all these different major organs that are shaped like fruits, that are shaped like the earth's, abundance of greens for us to eat. And we go astray from that. We want, our taste buds to be popping and to come alive. And so we get dead flesh and put a bunch of seasoning on it, bake it crispy, and it's ooh yummy and whatever. But then it's going into our bodies and hurting our hearts, hurting our kidneys, hurting our lungs, hurting our bodies, because that is not what the Most High gave man, woman, and child as an abundance and nourishing and to thrive off of. So, this adversity is coming in, and it's a lie. And it's part and parcel, and most importantly, part of this colonialism and capitalism that I speak about, that came together and they married each other and they had a child, and that child is called white supremacy. I wish I could do a cartoon about that. And this child, white supremacy, is in all kinds of different pockets of our society. Okay. And this is not something I'm making up. It is something that's been documented, and it's something that for generations and generations people have been fighting against. Even the same white people that are part of this white supremacy are flipping the script and using their privileges to help and support, the cause of oppression in our society because of, race, because of the color of our skin, because of the gender of our human nature, because of certain attributes that we have. We are, put in a discriminatory situation that is none of our doing. So we look at this Psalm 47, and I'm just 17 minutes in, and it's powerful in terms of the Most High and fearing that Most High, because that Most High is a great king over all the earth. And I was talking about how the earth is our home, and it is a place that was given to us that we now must, nourish so that we can thrive on it. We're destroying the earth every day with the things that we do, just because of this marriage between colonialism and capitalism, and this babies, all these babies, white supremacy, spreading all over the place from these two unions. So in verse 3, it's he subdued peoples under us. Who is he is the Most High, and nations under our feet. Who is I and I, all of I and I that fear the Most High. Okay, the Most High is going to perform this action. The Most High is going to subdue folks under I, and nations are going to be under I and I, feet. So in verse 4, the Most High chose I and I heritage for I and I, the pride of Jacob, whom the Most High loves, Selah. And pride is translated into love, because pride is a sin. We're not going to be prideful. So the love of Jacob, whom the Most High loves. It already speaks of the Most High loves. So it should speak of the love of Jacob that the Most High loves. Pride is put in there in a way that, can kind of distort things. So we're looking at love as that. And the Most High chose a heritage. And this heritage is a heritage and mentioning of, Jacob, this lineage. And that lineage keeps on going with Solomon, with David, with Jesus, it keeps on going. And that's why there is always this fight, because the Most High is not dead. You cannot kill the Most High. not physically, not, in people's hearts, in people's lives. It cannot. Okay, that's why people have their prayer closets. They have their warrior rooms, where they go in and they, speak to the Most High. Okay. And if verse 4 ends with Selah, Selah, Selassie the first, the power of the Trinity, seal it up right there. The power of the Trinity. That's what Selassie the first means. It means power of three. And that three, we've been taught, is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost. And that can be confusing because what is the meaning behind that? How is that defined? So how I define it, and it's that personal relationship for I have been that is the Father, that is also the Blessed Mother, and I is inclusive of all of I and I. So we have this Trinity and this relationship where, oh, I fear the Most High. I'm not going to go dabble into that. I am going to go and shout for joy. I'm going to clap hands. I'm going to, this is how I'm going to adore the Most High in song. And I'm going to, write some lyrics and chant some songs. Someone said, where's the next Bob Marley? Because Bob Marley used the Psalms sometimes. Peter Tosh, they, looked at the scriptures and pulled songs out of it. So, in verse 5, it speaks of God gone up with a shout. That's what it speaks of in verse 5. God has gone up with a shout. Okay? The Lord with the sound of a trumpet. So we have the Most High leading this shouting. The God, the Most High, and what is the Most High? Remember, love, compassion, kindness, mercy has gone up with a shout. All of this joyful actions of kindness, holding the door for someone, letting someone, sleep over who is homeless, being kind, communicating misunderstandings, listening to misunderstanding, listening. We have so much noise going on, social media, this, and this, that we don't listen. And we need to listen. And when I listen, I listen, and what's revealed to me is people's true character towards me. That's how you can find out and discern. People say, oh, discern the spirit. Yeah, you can discern folks' righteousness by listening to what they're speaking of and how they're framing what they're speaking of. And if it's about you and not about a situation, people take sides and they have favorites. If it's about that, then you know that you need to speak to the Most High on behalf of those folks because they're not listening. They're not listening. So in verse 6, it talks about, and it speaks about chanting Isis. It speaks, sing praises to God, sing praises to our King, sing praises. I don't sin. Sing is too close to sin for me. In words, I'm talking about. I know they're talking about, adulation and adoring in the Most High with songs and shouts. So speak that. Speak that. Why do we have to speak of these words that have these sounds of sin and death? Wait a minute. Are they trying to put a spell? So when you speak this, you go out there, you're shouting on Sunday, then Monday you go out there and sin and do wrong and then come back and get washed up again and you start all over and the cycle continues of sin? No, go and sin no more in words, in thoughts, in words, and in actions, period. So in verse 6, I'm chanting Isis to the Most High. I'm chanting a song. Okay, if you don't want to say ISIS because the world has turned that name into something else, okay, you can speak song, just song. I'm gonna chant a song to the Most High. I'm gonna chant a song to my God. I'm gonna chant a song to Jesus. I'm gonna chant a song to Selassie the First. I'm gonna chant a song to Jehovah Jireh. I'm gonna chant a song to Abraham, Elohim. I'm gonna chant a song to Emmanuel. I'm gonna chant a song to I'm gonna chant a song to the Creator, the Almighty. That's your relationship and your personal relationship, how you frame that or call that. As long as your actions are about that. Because God in all religions is love. Love, love. End of story. And how that is defined, it's different for everyone. Love can be, oh, I'm going to paint you a picture that shows that I love you. Oh, I'm going to help you clean up the kitchen. Or I'm going to help you, pick up these trash. I'm going to help you do this. That's love. That's action. That is showing love and kindness and mercy on a person. Have mercy. People want the God to have mercy on them, but they refuse to have mercy on folks. Have mercy. That is important because mercy, we don't see it out here in the world. And then we go into our homes and we still don't see it there. And it's like, wait a minute, do I have to run up to the mountain and stay there and be, away from folks because there's no mercy, nobody's showing mercy anymore? So it saddens me because it is going to be hard for folks when they are seeking for mercy and can't find it because they don't know how to give it. They don't know how to give it or show mercy because they're too busy. I don't like her and she this and she that and he, oh my God, he this, he that. Instead of listening and showing mercy for Christ's sake. Show mercy. Christ's sake, for the sake of this one that was crucified, died, and was buried and rose again. At least if you're not doing it for anyone else, do it for that. Do it for that. Show kindness. Err on the side of kindness. So verse 6 is about, chanting Isis to God. Chant Isis to I Negus, I king and queen. Don't forget that. Because colonialism and capitalism, when they married, okay, it was about male domination and the patriarchy and pushing men. That's why men make more than women. Why isn't it equal? Because that's a statement. Because we're not equal. So you're making it that way. When in fact, we are in the sight of the Most High. Equal partnerships. Men are not supposed to just be doing this and women are not supposed to just be doing this. It's an equal partnership because you're both looked at from the father and the mother as equal. And in that same way, your heart, is your heart light or is it heavy with grievance or envy and strife and jealousy and all this? So that is that Negus, that king and queen over all the earth, right? And in verse 7, for God is the king of all the earth. Sing praises with a psalm. Drop the mic exclamation mark. And I don't use the word sing. So we're going to chant a song with a psalm. Check that out. Chant a song with a psalm. So for God, the Most High, the Almighty One, is the Negus and Negas, the king and the queen. We don't want to leave that out. I know I have a picture here of what I see as the Most High, and I don't have the female. So I have to I have a picture of Empress Negas and Negus right here. So Blessed Mother and Almighty Father and I are part of that Trinity. So when we look at the Trinity, this is what it represents for me. For someone else, it might represent something else. It might represent the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And I respect that. Okay? If that's what is revealed to you, I am not to judge you and speak that and tell you that's not it. I am just going to live the way it's being revealed to me. And it's revealed to me as the Almighty Father, okay, and the Blessed Mother. And in the creation on earth, we see that there is Father time. Remember in the scripture, the time for the Most High, 1,000 years may be one day, and one day may be 1,000 years. So that's why we look at the Father as, time, and the Mother as nature, as this nurturing creation, and we call it nature. That's why there's this nature nurture debate. In my field of, family sciences, family studies, being a scientist, there's this nature nurture debate. So we have in the Psalm today, we have this earth being represented again, that the Most High is over all the earth. And that the chanting of Isis, or the chanting of songs with a psalm, is important for the Most High. And in verse 8, the Most High reigns over the nations and sits on the Most High's Isla throne. So I love this because this is where we see the Most High reigning over. And even though the nations, this one is fighting that one, blah, 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 all of that, the Most High is reigning over it. And the Most High is sitting on the Most High's Isla throne, okay? And it says holy throne, but there's no hole in that throne. There's no hole that you can go in and sink down into. And that's, see, sink, sin, sink. So we don't want a hole. We want Isla, we want happy, we want joyful, we want shouts of joy. As it speaks of in verse 5, that God has gone up with a shout. Okay? He's gone up with a shout, and he's up with a shout on and sitting on this happy throne, a throne of happy, wonderful thoughts and beautiful, wonderfulness by the rivers, sitting and watching the water. That is, that's happiness. And some folks think, thinking, a $5 million is going to make you happy. It's going to make me happy that I could use it to build a child and family center, to identify developmental delays from early, and catching things early in children so they can have a future, positive future. And that's what I'm building. I, look at that happiness, and it's gonna, come from the money to build it, to make it happen. So it's not the money that's the source of the happiness. It's what it's going to accomplish. And when you put money to use to help other people, to, create jobs, because the center, the Love City Child and Family Center, is going to have custodians and is going to have security guards, is going to have employing folks, is going to have teachers, infant, toddler, preschool, teachers. They're going to head those classrooms. They're going to be in charge. We're going to come together, have meetings with these head teachers, and if they need assistance, we'll hire folks. Then we have the psychologists, child psychologists, the applied behavior and analysis analysts, applied behavior analysts. They're going to be having offices around the center so they can see clearly through their windows the children in these centers, from infants, toddlers, preschoolers. So that is the heritage that I feel in verse 4 the Most High chose for I and I to do, and the love of Jacob whom the Most High loves. So I have to read about Jacob. And Jacob changed his name to Israel, I believe. So I gotta search that out some more. So I'm speaking all this because happiness is what this Isla, this holy, means. And happiness is this throne that the Most High is sitting on. And I refer to happiness as some people think it's money. It's the money, but it's what the money can do, what it can give to not just the person who has the money, but to thousands of people that it's going to benefit. So when people are hoarding money and it's just they for themselves, what is that purpose? You just being for yourself. You have to be for people, for others, to give, be of a giving, generous, heart. Because this center that I'm visioning, that the Most High is setting me out to build, is going to have opportunities for people, families, to get grants. Families always come to me, how can I get a grant? How can I get a grant? Where do I go get a grant? A family grant? There's no place. You got to be a nonprofit. So I had to create a nonprofit. So that nonprofit is going to give money out to families. Every year, you can apply. You get a new stove. You can pay your interest on your house. You can use it, and it's documented. There's even a family grant, a family interest grant, where that grant can help you, give you $500 to pay interest on your credit cards one time. And that'll boost your score up. So you're in the game. You got skin in the game. Now you can, get lower interest rates because your credit score is high. So all of that is part of what I am trying to build. And the Most High is guiding me towards that. And looking at this verse 8, that the Most High reigns over the nations, all I got to do is do the work. The work is hard. I just got to do the work. And because having faith alone is not what you need. You need the works behind it. So getting all my financial reports, getting all my budgets together, getting all this, I got to do that. I got to get that prepared to say, here, this is the Love City Child and Family Center. This is the budget. This is what I need. This is what I need to use to build, and let's get going. So it sounds easy, but it's not, because you're going to be fought. Just like David in the Psalms was fought because of his, wanting to build something for the Most High and for the Most High's people. So, and we saw it when Moses went and, to Pharaoh, let my people go. So, verse 8 is talking about the Most High sitting on this Isla throne, and that the Most High reigns over all the earth, and that I and I that serve the Most High and that fear the Most High need to chant a song with a psalm. And that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to chant and chant for, a psalm one day, and you hear my chanting voice. So In verse 9, this is the end of the Psalm 47, verse 9. The princes of the peoples gather as the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong to God, and God is highly exalted, highly high. That's why I speak of highly high. And then you go, Selassie the first, power of the Trinity, hail it highly, right? It's highly exalted. So verse 9 kind of wraps it up. The princes of the peoples are gathering, right? As the people of the God of Abraham. So it's describing and comparing that, look, the princes of the people are going to be gathering just as the people of the God of Abraham. And I always mention the God of Abraham, Menelik was sent by the Most High to bless Abraham. Okay, so we have this represented here again in verse 9, Psalm 47. For the shields of the earth belong to the Most High, and the Most High is highly, highly exalted. I love that. Exclamation mark, Selah and Selah again. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart always be acceptable in the sight of the Most High. Selah and Selah again. Here in Psalm 47. The verse of the day. Let's get to the verse of the day. The verse of the day today, for Saturday, March 23rd. You can look at the 23rd Psalm too. You can look at that one. But the verse of the day is coming from James chapter 1, verse 12. Okay, James chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres during trial, or in a hard circumstance, or in a situation that's hard, that's tribulation, because having stood the test. Okay, you stood the test. Meaning you didn't go into jealousy and envy and strife and arguing. You stayed on the humble side. You led with love. You erred on the side of kindness. You stood the test. That person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love the Lord, the Most High, the Almighty, the one omnipotent, Redeemer, protector, teacher, that one. So James chapter 1 verse 12 sets it off from Psalm 47. And Psalm 47 is talking about the Most High is king and queen over all the earth. And knowing that you're going to be persecuted, crucified, you're going to be attacked because you're going against what was set up by the church. And the church set up the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Period. That's what it is. Here you come talking about the mother, the blessed mother. Oh, wait. This is a patriarch, sister. You better stay low. It's like, no, I am not going to stay low. I am going to rise high, because that is what the Most High is. Seek for what is above. And I'm going to go and keep going and keep going and keep going. Stop dumbing down yourself. If you're at a job, they're not, seeing your qualities. Don't dumb down yourself and stay. You got to go. You got to rise up, and you got to send your resume off some places, and you never know what could happen. I always speak to folks I do resume building. You do 3 resumes tailored to each 3 positions that you want and send them out. Period. You can even create your own position, send your resume tailored to that position to an organization saying, look, you all need somebody like me. And boom, here's a grant you can get to pay me This is what I'm worth. This is what I want. This is what I do, and send it out. So you have to persevere, especially when you're being in a tribulation at the job, in your relationship, at home, in your school, wherever you're having, you know, trials and tribulations. I don't want trials and tribulations, but they come to me. They happen because I have, I'm not the only one here. I have, children still alive. I have, siblings. I have parents still alive. So it's always gonna be some kind of conflict. And during those conflicts, you have to be strong because you're standing this test. And that person who stands that test will receive the crown of life. And that crown of life is good health, happiness, all of the wonderful things. You get up in the rise and you go out to your garden and you pick some, vegetables and some fruits, and you come in, you make your breakfast, and you go and, look at your animals. You maybe have horses or chickens or whatever. You greet them, and you feed them, you take care of them, and that's the life you live. You trade your provisions for other things, services, or whatever the case may be. So you're not caught up in this capitalistic, colonialistic, white supremacy world. You can, as people call it, off the grid. You can be off of that and live a happy life where you are, have this crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. And when you love the Most High, you see things in a humble way because you are that image of that humble kindness, love, compassion, and mercy. So that is the verse for today. And the word today is lightness. I talked about this, that you need to have a light heart where you don't have envy, strife, anger inside of your heart, but it's light and bright. It'll shine and you will shine. So the word today is lightness. I share my lightness and ease the heaviness of the world that I just talked about. You're going to have heaviness within these different spaces in your relationships. That's going to happen. So what do? You have to trust. You have to find the passions and purposes in your life that you can build on, create, write, draw, do something, clean, redesign your space, change your space around. When I was a little girl, I always used to change the living room around. I don't know. I would change it around, clean it, change it around and stuff. So I don't know. That helped me cope with my space and creating and being creative. As a creator, that's probably something that I had to do. So in the word of the day, lightness, it talks about sharing your lightness and easing the heaviness of the world. I love that. So what can I do when the world feels heavy? What can you do when the world feels heavy? When I can't find a friendly face and nothing seems to be going my way, I take those times as a cue to live lightly. I may not be able to control the energy of the world, but I do have the power to adjust my energetic vibration and share it. Today, I choose lightness. Lightness. I do not take the world and its people personally. You cannot. This is so true. You cannot take the world and people personally. Don't take it personal, right? When someone is short or impatient or judgmental with or of me, I forgive easily. When the world feels dour, I joy generously, offering a smile and kind word everywhere I go and to everyone I meet. Check it out. It could be a stranger, but that's what you're going to share. A kind word everywhere I go and to everyone I meet. Through I lightness, I speak to God on behalf of others. So others, for others to know the love and joy of God within others, within themselves. I speak to God, to Jah, to the Most High, that others may share others' likeness as I have shared I likeness. So this word of the day, lightness, and you can take out your little dailyword.com booklets, those little nice little booklets from Daily Word. Today, March 23rd, it's talking about lightness. And the Psalm 18, verse 28, it is you who light my lamp. The Lord my God lights up my darkness. Or I don't use the word darkness, I may use despair or depression or sadness. So the Most High is that light, is that my lamp, and lights up the darkness, or not the darkness, but the despair, the feeling like no one cares. The Most High is going to light that way up. So it is the Most High who lights I lamp, the Lord my God, and you can put your name in there, the Most High, Jah, Ras Tafari, Head Creator, Selassie the First, the Almighty, Jesus Christ, Jehovah Jireh, whatever. That the one who sent Menelik to bless Abraham, the God of Abraham, you can say that. That one is going to light up my life. Okay? Light up I life. Selah and Selah again. That was the word of the day. Lightness. And not in terms of color, but in terms of love. In terms of love. Because love is light. Hate is heavy. It's a heavy thing to carry around, right? So love is that light. And in Max Lucado, we're going to end this now with Max Lucado. And Max Lucado talks about today, recognize your prize. Recognize your prize. And it's coming from Ephesians chapter 18, verse, what is that verse? 18, chapter 1, verse 18, Ephesians. I pray also that you will have greater knowledge in your heart. I speak to God. So I speak to God. This is Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. I speak to God that you will have greater knowledge and awareness inside of your inside hearts, so that you will know the future to where the Most High has called all of I, and that I will know how rich and glorious are the blessed the Most High has promised his happy people. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. So it's talking about holy people. It's talking about pray. It's talking about rich and glorious is the bless that the Most High has promised. So that is the future, that you have to wait on the Most High. While you're waiting, you're doing works. You're not just sitting there waiting and doing nothing. You are actually working, doing works, because works without faith is or faith without works is nothing. They go hand in hand. So I speak in Ephesians, I translate it as I'm speaking to the Most High, that folks out there will have greater knowledge, okay, about their future, to which the Most High has called to give you a future, and that to know how rich and glorious that the bless of the Most High is, that the Most High has vowed to give the Most High's happy people. You're not going to receive this rich and gloriousness being angry. It's only when you're happy, when you're at in love with yourself and you can love others. So when that is that way, you're going to receive, you're going to know how rich and glorious the love and bless of the Most High is, because you're being happy. So Max Lucado speaks of Jesus, says the way to deal with your problems is to recognize your prize. You see, when we have a prize that's great enough, our problems become small. There will be problems on this earth, but there will be a place where you'll be saved when you endure. So this is exactly what the verse says, that the one who perseveres is going to be the one who is going to receive, and the one who stands the test is going to receive this crown of life, this bless. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 18 talks about it, and James chapter 1 verse 12 talks about it. Recognizing your prize. And in verse of the day, James chapter 1 verse 12 talks about that. In the Psalm, God is king over all the earth. The Most High is Negus and Negas, king and queen over all the earth, talks about that the Most High is to be feared, and only those who fear the Most High will be saved. And fearing the Most High is doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. Thinking of wrongness, you're not going to think of wrongness because you're afraid of the Most High. People used to fear God so much. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they feared God so much, they were like, they'd rather go in the fire and burn than to partake in something that is not of the Most High. And we have gotten away from that. Folks don't want to do that anymore. They'd rather, do what they want to do now and not think of a future. And Max Lucado talks about it, that, you're going to, there will be problems. There's going to be things that's going to happen, but there's a place where you'll be saved and you will endure. You will persevere under trials and tribulations. So I'm a living example of that. My son passed away. That's a trial and tribulation in my life. However, I am standing the test that the future, the prize, I'm still got my eye on, the salvation. I got to keep focusing on that. Yes, it hurts. There's a pain, but we have an advocate, a comforter that comforts me every night, and every rise gives me that comfort. So I'm okay for that. I receive all of the condolences. I don't like to use the word C-O-N, but I receive all of the words of kindness and the kind gestures that have been shown to me through this time of my life. And that's why I share the Psalm a day, because it may help others as it is helping myself. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. And thank you for daring to translate the Psalms, the word of the Most High, into words of liberation and taking the shackles off. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember, chant a psalm a day keeps the evil away.